We're back to another Friday news story. This is number 28. I'm going to share with you guys my longest wholesale transaction. It took us like 70 days to close on this deal. There's so many hurdles up and downs. I'm going to share with you guys and how we're able to wrap it up. And the closing is actually happening today. So, which means it's going to close and we're going to get our money and all that today. So anyways, you guys, if you guys are new to the channel and you don't know the rules to the game, as you enter the live stream, smash that thumbs up for me. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, join the family, smash that subscribe button, you guys. So I'm going to share with you guys today the longest wholesale fee, and we end up making $10,000 off of this deal. And man, it took 70 days. So anyways, let's give you guys some shout out here before we are rocking and rolling. Sarah K, welcome to the channel and the family, Sarah. Happy Friday. Jin, what up, buddy? Happy Friday. And for those of you, just a little quick motivation, Friday motivation for you guys. And, before I get into that, I want to let, for those of you who are in the surrounding area of Maryland, my wife and I are coming out to Maryland next week, June 14th. I'm actually going to be one of the guest speaker at the local RIA. It's Hub City RIA. I'll make sure I'll put it in the descriptions. It starts around 5:30 to 6 o'clock, and I think it lasts all the way until like 9 o'clock or so. So if you guys are around, you guys want to meet up, want to shake hands, want to hugs, no kisses, and talk about real estate. Any question you guys have, I'll be more than happy to answer in person. You guys get to see the wife and all that. So anyways, you guys, if you can join me, it's Hub City RIA. Just Google it. But I'll make sure I put it in. The description so you guys can get in contact. And I hope to see all of you guys there. If you guys couldn't make it, I completely understand. But anyways, a little quick motivation, you guys. As you are going along this journey. All right, I want to let you guys know that it's not easy. If it was easy, so many people would have made it. All right, you guys. So what I'm sharing with you is, my wife and I, when we first started 5 years ago, and we went to the seminars. I gotta say, there gotta be over 100 of them. 100 of them in the seminars. And I still keep in contact. With some of them. And everybody go in there. They're all excited, right? We're all excited. We're all on the same page. We're all like, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to make a boatload of money and things like that. And you're all amped up. And a lot of times that amp, right, that fuel in you eventually go away when you come across some setback. When you are 3 months in, 4 months in, you're making those cold calls. Maybe you tie a property up on a contract and it didn't work out and it fell through. And then now your confidence level just go down and down and down. And you'll be like, man, maybe this is not for me. So basically, and then you move on to the next thing. And, I still have in contact with those people. And now I call them back. Majority of them, you guys, don't do anything, right? Majority of them don't do anything. There was a few of them that does a few deals here and there. All right, you guys. Only 1 or 2 people are really skyrocketing and really making it happen. And all it comes down to, you guys, it's not about how much smarter than the other person is. It's not about how much money that they have to invest. But it's more of the laser focus, the determination of, you know what, I'm going to do whatever it takes morally and required of me to make this happen. I don't care if I go fast. I don't care if I'm going slow. But every single day, I'm taking a step closer. I'm just putting my foot forward and just stepping 1 foot at a time forward as I go. And that is the key. The key is how determined are you? All right, how determined are you to succeed in this business? How determined are you? Let me tell you guys, you're going to come across a lot of setback. You're going to come across a lot of hurdles. All right, but it takes an extraordinary person with a really strong mind to push through and to keep on going and to say, you know what, I don't care what's going to come in my way, but I'm just going to keep on pushing through, and I'm just going to keep on going. And knowing that my price is at the other end, and keep your eyes on the price. You guys, don't get this focused. There's so many shiny objects out there. My wife and I, when we got into this business, you hear about people making money on Amazon, drop shipping, e-commerce, like all kinds of stuff, right? And trust me, we tried, right? We tried a little bit here and there, and it ended up didn't work. It didn't work because it wasn't because that didn't work. All right, that business didn't work, but it didn't work. It was because we didn't put all of our focused attention and giving it everything we got. All right, you guys, and that's why. Because there's going to be a lot of things that you need to learn, that you need to acquire, and things like that. So what I'm telling you is, yes, we try that. And every single business, you guys, work because there's people proven that they have made money from it. It's just a matter of fact, it comes down to you. Are you going to take your time, energy, effort, and put into this? Just put everything into this. All right? So, I mean, and that's what we end up doing with real estate. We know that this is the one that we are willing to commit and willing to do whatever it takes. All right? What platform are you purchasing your list from? Franco List Source. So you guys, every single day, just know that maybe whatever you're doing today, maybe you're not getting the result right away. It's okay. A lot of times you don't see the results now, you see it down the road. But if you give up now, then you're never, ever going to see that. All right, you guys? And I promise you, it only takes one deal. All of a sudden, it just proves to you that you can do it. All right, you guys? I'm a high school dropout. I know nothing about real estate when I first started. And what really got us to where we are today is because I was just keep on going and just keep on going, just keep on learning, right? Just keep on learning, and what I learn, I just apply, I test it out. If it doesn't work, most people talk about stuff and don't do. I do, you guys, I do it. So basically how I operate is when I learn something, I just stop. I pause the video. When I hear something that just clicked, I pause the video. I don't watch it anymore, and I go and take action. And I've made so much mistake, but because of the mistake that I made, that it helps me to like, hey, you know what? Next time if I come across this, I won't do it again. But it's the actions that got me here, you guys. It's because I go and implement and apply it right away. I don't analyze, I don't do more research on it, etc. All right, but I just go take action. All right, you guys. Most just sits back and read and analyze and try to figure everything out before they take the step forward and before they do it. But what I'm telling you, the key is doing it. So many people have great ideas, but can they execute? Right? Great ideas doesn't do anything. Right? So many people, I got great ideas. Great. Let me see you execute it. Let me see you do it. All right, you guys. So, anyways, you guys, it's the doing. Anyways, let's give you guys some shout out, and let me get into the story. Beastmo. Woo! I like that name, man. Happy Friday. Delano Johnson. What up? Happy Friday. Crispo. So, you guys, when I was in the seminars, these guys, you guys, these guys are like smart people. They're smart people. Books-wise, right? Books-wise, they're really smart. I didn't even know what an IQ is. Believe it or not, I did not know what an IQ is, right? I just recently know it about a year or so ago. But when I was in high school and whatever, and people talk about IQ, I don't even know what IQ is. You tell me to go one block down, I don't even know what a block is. Believe it or not, it's up to you guys. But you tell me go 2 blocks, take a right, go, like, I wouldn't even know what you're talking about, right? And you guys, all I do, like, I know within me, self-awareness. You guys gotta know, you gotta know yourself. Like, I know that I'm willing to work hard. I'm a hard-working guy. Whatever I decided, I'm willing to give whatever it takes, do 16, 17, whatever hours it's like, I don't mind, right? And, but anyways, I just want to let you guys know that, I'm a high school dropout, no college degree, no nothing like that. I grew up in Vietnam in a mud hut and never ever had formal education back there. So when I came over to America, I knew that I was just not going to go and be as smart as these guys are and go to college and get a degree and all that. But I know that I'm a hardworking guy and I'm willing to work from the bottom up. That's exactly what I told my mom when I was 17. I dropped out of high school when I was 17. My mom said, Khang, oh my God, we brought you all the way over here so you can go to school, graduate it, sit in an office, and make a lot of money. To them, I don't know what a lot of money is. Probably like $50,000 a year, because my mom works at a job that she makes about $25,000. Same with my dad. So maybe $50,000 a year is a lot to them. And they want me to know, they don't want me to be a labor worker. They want me to sit in an office, type, and so they can go and show off to their friend, hey, my kid graduated from college or high school, whatever. But I told my mom, I don't care what I do, even if I scrub toilet. I'd rather work from the bottom up, but I cannot continue school. That's how bad I hated it. And my wife, the exact same thing. Her whole family used to make fun of her, calling her names. Like, she's not gonna get anywhere in life. And anyways, it's the feeling, you guys. It felt so good that we got here today, and we couldn't do it with, you know. To be honest with you, to me, I believe it was, you know, because we're lucky. God really helped us, really puts the people, the things in place for us to keep on, you know, to get to where we're here today. So honestly, I thank God for that, because, man, I really don't know how my wife and I did it. But when people said, you guys made it, to be honest with you guys, we haven't felt like we've made it, because I guess it depends on who you talk to, right? Some people will be like, oh, 100,000 a year, you made it. Some people, $500,000 a year, you made it, right? For us, I think right now is trying to get to that 350 to $500,000 a month. That's when I feel like, man, I made it. But for some people, maybe that's not even making it. So it really depends. But to be honest with you guys, I really don't feel like I've made it. When people say, Khang, you're successful, honestly, I don't know how to respond, because to me, I felt like I'm not there yet. Ray, happy Friday. What up? Christopher William, happy Friday. Sarah, Court, happy Friday. How does your program work, even if you're not virtually wholesaling? Delano, I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm not sure what you mean by if you're not even virtually wholesaling. So Delano, basically my King Kong Amazing Seller Skip is teaching you how to talk to seller to get them, to negotiate with them and get them down on price to where you need it to be, and so you can lock the deal up on the contract. Whether you do it virtually or not, that's up to you. I do it virtually, all right, you guys? I do it virtually. Most people out there has to send people to go out there and see the seller at the property, or they have to send one of their guys. But I'm telling you, I'm doing it virtually, and how to be able to do it virtually, whether you want to go out there and meet the same seller, it's the exact same thing that you would have to say, right? When I go out there and if I meet with the seller, it's the exact same thing that I would say. All right, I ask them everything about the property, whatever it is, gather information. I'll get back to you. I'll send it over to our team manager, have them do the research and come back with you. And it's the exact same thing. But the nice thing is also you get to come into our private Facebook group. That's where you get to be able to answer your questions. That's where we get to interact with each other. And I want to let you know, it's not a one-on-one. I have people emailing me, Khang, would you do coaching? Would you do mentoring one-on-one? No, I really just enjoy what I'm doing right now on the time that I like to do it. If we do a one-on-one, I just think it's too expensive. Too expensive for most people. And let me tell you guys one more thing. When you know the buyer is legit or not is when they actually move forward. So many people out there said, oh yeah, Khang, I want it, I want it. Okay, here's the price. Right? I'm telling you, not a lot of people said, hey, you know what? This is what I want. What's going to cost? You give them a price, they'll back out. They're not ready. It's just you're not ready for it yet. Okay, you guys? And the thing is that's what it is. And this is for people who are ready, who are committed, massive action taker, people that say, Khang, I'm dedicated, I'm committed, I'm willing to do whatever is required of me morally to succeed in this business. That's when you're going to go buy it, all right? Do not waste your money if you're iffy. Because I want to let you guys know this is not an overnight success, all right? This is not an overnight success. But what I'm telling you, it only takes one deal to change everything around, all right? So you got to determine what is that worth to you. And you guys, people said overnight success takes 10 years. I spent my life 8 years at a company, all right? I spent my life 8 years working for a company, and and I was making 30,000 a year. All right, you guys. So if you are exposed to this business, man, please, you know, because at the time I wasn't exposed to this. All my friends, all my family were, you know, normal, not an entrepreneur. They're just working a regular job, and things like that. So I wasn't aware of something like this. So if you are exposed to this, take the opportunities. But first, believe that this business is possible. Because if you don't, then obviously you're not going to do research. You're not going to watch more video. First, you got to believe it's possible. Second, you have to believe that you can do it. All right. Without that, you're not going to keep going. You got to believe somewhat. I don't care if it's 0.5%, but you got to believe that you can do this business, and it's for everybody out there. If you are committed and determined, you can do it. And then the third, you just got to take action. Do not be an analyzer. Do not let it paralyze you. Take action. But if you want to buy it, you want to join our Massive Action Take Your Facebook family, click the link in the descriptions. It's $4.95, a no refund, no exchange. Josh E. Jesus, happy Friday. Mr. MBU, happy Friday. Jin, the NJK123, happy Friday. Khang, I think you crushed the Hub City meetup site. I can't log on. Oh man, you guys. Okay, that day it's not about me. I'm not gonna talk about me. That day, for those of you who are new to the game, I want to make sure I get every single questions answered. Also, too, is I want you to walk away from that meeting. If you don't know about wholesaling, you're gonna know about wholesaling. And if you've never done a deal before, I want you to walk away from that meeting knowing that you are gonna do a deal within the next 30 days. It's not gonna be about me. I'm gonna share roughly about me a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes. The rest of the time I'm gonna spend having you guys answering questions. So basically, I'm actually gonna freestyle it. Thank you so much, you guys. If you guys can come out and meet up, that'll be awesome. All right, you guys, let's get into the deal story. Man, it took 17 minutes for me to get in to the story. All right, you guys. So this deal here came from one of our postcard. So the seller calls in. It came from one of our postcard. The seller calls in, and believe it or not, she has two other investors that she have talked to. All right, she has two other investors that she have talked to. They wanted. She was thinking that she was asking about she was asking $200,000 for the property. And on the first phone call, she's asking $250,000. I'm sorry, she's asking $250,000 for the property. On the first phone call, she came down from $250 down to $200 because she said other investor. That's what the other investor was offering her. So my VA set up the appointment for me to call her back and make her the offer to lock the property up on a contract. So on the second phone call, when I called back to make her the offer, we're able to got her down to man, I gotta look at the hold on a second. I gotta look at the price right now. So we got her down to 187. And the reason why, and we got her down to 187. Now check this out, you guys. The other investor that came out, met up with her, everything like that, offered her 186. And she didn't take it. And that's the key, you guys, is you got to pitch, but you got to know how to close it. All right? You don't want the seller to say, I'm going to think about it. You don't want the seller to say, hey, I'm going to take this to another investor. No, I think because the other investor did not know how to close her. So let me give you guys a key tip. So she said, yeah, I think we offer her like 150. And she said, yeah, that's too low. I already have to be, she said, Khang, to be honest with you, I already have another offer at 186. Unless you guys offer higher, or higher than that, then I'm not going to take it. Now, guess what I did? I said, so if I can get the approval purchase price from our team manager for 187, are you ready to get the paperwork done and sell your property today? Like right now. I said, otherwise, I don't want to bother our team manager, and calling them and bothering our team member, because we haven't come to an agreement yet, all right? I haven't got that verbal acceptance from you yet, or a commitment, all right? So she said, well, let me chat with my husband. I want to think about it. I said, so her husband was there, so you can kind of hear them saying, so she came back, she said, Khang, if you can get the approval for 187, we're ready to get the paperwork done and sell your property. And that's what you want, you guys. You do not want to pitch your offer and not get a commitment first. I always teach you guys, get a commitment, and that's exactly, you guys. So when you purchase my script, it's not like I take the script and I hand it to you and you don't know if it work or not. You will be able to listen to me on live phone call with seller, multiple live phone call with seller, the exact script that I use to lock property under contract virtually. I've never seen the property, never met with a seller, and how I'm able to lock it up. And the other guy came out and met with the seller and all that. So I said, Vicky, I said before. Okay, I said, I just want to make sure I get a commitment from you before I go to her team manager and obviously, take up their time trying to get this approved. Are you saying if I can get the approval for 187, you are ready to get the paperwork done and sell your property today? Is that correct? She said, Khang, if you can do that, we got a deal. And that's it, you guys. Went, and that was on the second phone call, lock it up, tied up a contract, and we had let me see here. Oh man, so this is March. So we had a closing supposed to be in May. And let me tell you what happened. So we locked it up for 187. Jim was asking for ARV. We estimated the ARV. So at the time, we estimated the ARV to be about 375 to 400. It's in it sits on some acreage. And the thing is that the seller said, hey, it only needs about $30,000 to $40,000 in repair. All right, $30,000 to $40,000 in repair. We were thinking to make about $50,000 off of this assignment deal. All right, we're looking to make $50,000 on this deal here, and I'll share with you guys why it became $10,000. So basically, this property here, so the seller told us it's a stick-built home. All right, she said it was a stick built. It was a stick built. But after we did some research on the property, so before that, most of you guys will be like, oh, let me do all the research first before I lock the property up on a contract. Nope. As long as we agreed on the price, nope, we're gonna lock it up and then we're gonna do our research. So after we did our research, this is not a stick built home. It's a manufactured home. And so the price now from 3 something, it really now only probably worth in the more of I would say 275 to 300. All right. So it drops all the way down because now it's just a manufactured home. All right. So so basically what it is this property here, somebody tried to convert it. All right. Trying to get the what's the name? So basically, they try to get the title eliminated, so that way it's not a manufactured home anymore, but it's considered like a stick built. All right. So anyway, so we pitched it to our buyer, got the buyer. It took us about 2.5, almost 3 weeks to get a buy for this property because it's in a rural area, and other comps around the area was harder to find some comps in the area. And also, too, it's a manufactured home. Okay, it's not a stick-built home. It's a manufactured home, and most buyers are turned off by it. So, anyways, we found our buyer within I think about 3 weeks or so. He went out there. Did a walkthrough, did an inspection. Did an inspection. Said, "Hey, Khang, I'm actually ready to go, but at the price of." So at this time, we lock it up for like 187. We try to send it out for 50 above that, and then we end up having to drop the price. So 187. I think we hold on a second. So I think we came down to like 225. All right, 225. So we're still looking to make about 38. But the buyer came back. The buyer said, "Khang, it's a manufactured home. It's in a rural area. So we're not going to be able to pay the 225." And then I said, well, what can you guys do, right? And at this time, I actually have we actually worked with this buyer on a couple of deals already. But at the time, when we sent it out to him, he was busy on another project or so wasn't able to jump on it. So we actually found this buyer through a co-wholesaler, all right? And what this co-wholesaler does is that's all he does is he goes out there and he finds buyer. I don't think he does his own deals. He just go out there and he collects buyer. And we work with him. We work with him on I don't know, multiple deals already. So we sent it out. He sent it out to his buyer. And at this time, so at this time here, I asked pretty much. I pretty much go through the co-wholesaler, and then he just translated, or he just send it over to his buyer. So I said, well, where does your buyer needs to be in price for him to move forward? So he was saying, so they came back and he's saying, he probably needs to be in a 140. I said, man, the 140 is not going to work. I said, the 140 is not going to work. I said that I can talk to the seller and kind of see where the seller's at and see if we can come down that low. But I said, that's pretty low. So what it is right now, I got the buyer on a hook. I got the seller already, right? We're already in the process with the seller. We're already tied up with the seller. So now I got a buyer that's willing to go at 140. And at the time, I told the buyer, I said, I don't know if we can do 140. Man, that's really low. But would you consider like 155 or 160? Would that something that your buyer would consider? So I start throwing out some numbers. All right, 155 or 160. Do you think that works for your buyer? And then he said, yeah, I think that's going to work. So he went and checked with his buyer. His buyer said, yeah, that's going to work. Well, guess what I did? So at now, we're locking up 187. So I went back to the seller. I said, hey, you know what? You told us it was a stick-built home. We did some research on the property. We went out there. The buyer thinks it's going to cost. We think that it's going to cost us about, you know, 50 to 60,000 to put this property, you know, to really fix this property up and put it in perfect condition. It's still a manufactured home, not a stick-built home. So the value of it really goes down. I said we still want to move forward. We still want to buy the property. We still want to make sure that the number work for you and it work, you know, but it got to work for us as well. But at 187, we cannot make it work. Would you consider 130? Right? Because I know that I need to get her to the 140, right? So from 187 down to like the 140 or so, I know that I might be able to get her, but you know, so basically at this time, I really didn't think that the seller, I was like 50-50. I don't know if she's willing to work with us or not on the price, all right? Or she's just gonna go and say, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna cancel the whole deal, which is not a problem. We put $500 earnest money down on the deal, $500 earnest money. I could have put $100, I could have put $10, but we typically put $500 now, all right? So I came back and that's exactly what I told her. I said, hey, we still want to move forward. We still really interested and wanted to buy the property. All right. And we still want to move forward and close on it. But this is where we needed to be. If you can make that work for you, we are ready to move forward on this. Well, she said, well, Khang, you know, 130 is not going to work. You know, we were actually looking at another house that we looked at to move in, and we fell in love with this house. We really want to get this moving forward. You know, and she's like, I apologize for the misinformation. You know, we really thought, you know, that it's a stick-built home and things like that. And, you know, so she knows that stuff that she's saying is somewhat not true. All right. So she said, I can't do 130. But, you know, probably the lowest we'll go is like 150. So and then I move up, and then we came to an agreement on a 140. Now I got the seller to say, yes, I will take it at 140. So I send the seller. So I go ahead and said, okay, so let me check with my team just to make sure that everything is good. So now I text back to the co-wholesaler. I said, ask your buyer at 155, would he do it? He texts back, he said, my buyer's ready to go, 155. So I send an addendum, and you guys, all the contract that we use, the purchase and sale contract, the assignment agreement, the double closing, the addendum, I share with you guys all of that in my King Kong Amazing Seller Package deal. You get all of that, okay? So I send the addendum to the seller and said, okay, the new purchase price shall be, boom, 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 right? 140. Buyers pay all the closing costs. I send another addendum. So now I send the assignment agreement to the buyer at 155, with the buyer to put $5,000 non-refundable the next day. So I got the buyer, because so now the spread is $15,000, but I have to pay $5,000 for the co-wholesaler, and that's why our profit is going to be only 10. So I tell the buyer they need to put $5,000 non-refundable the next day. Okay, you guys. And we worked with this buyer before. He has no problem. Boom, everything is done. All right, you guys. So we set the closing date to be 14 days out from the day that the buyer signed. All right, we set 14 days out for closing. Well, guess what happened? So what happened is that before we can close on this deal, his lender, the hard money lender, right? So our buyer is going to use hard money lending on this. So his hard money lender said, hey, we need a BPO, which is a broker price opinion, because they don't want to, so basically this lender here won't pay for an assignment, right? They don't pay for an assignment fee. All right. So for them to pay for an assignment fee, they need to get a BPO on it. And I think it's just something most lender, it really depends on the lender. Some will require a BPO, some doesn't. All right. And a BPO is just a broker price opinion. All right. So they just need an opinion from a realtor to go out there to evaluate the property, to see what the property is actually worth, and to see, just to make sure and assure them that that the buyer that they're lending to is buying at a discount and it's not overpaying on the property. So the BPO went out there and came back and said, hey, they said the property's probably only going to worth about 140. So now the buyer's buying at a 155. All right, and now the buyer needs to come up with the extra $15,000. All right, for the difference. But he has so many property tied up that he needs to keep his fund liquid just because for other lending purposes. And he said, Khang, would you, Khang, would you do, Khang, would you be able to, okay, so before this happens, you guys, before all of this happens, it was about 3 days or it was 4 days before closing. Now, before this, we tried to set up an appointment for the BPO to go out there, but the seller got home late from work, and the buyer got home late from work, the seller got home late from work, so the BPO couldn't go in there and do their thing. So we have to set it for next week, and it was it was 4 days out from closing, from signing the closing. And when we got the BPO come in, and the seller's like, hey, Khang, what's going on here? I don't know why you're sending another. I said, yeah, basically what it is we just going to send one of our partner go out there just to verify everything. We even have to say the agents, because the agents has to disclose that he's an agent. I said, we're going to send one of our agents out there just to kind of look at over everything, and just to make sure that basically what it is what we need to fix the house up to a sellable condition to a traditional buyer. So typically that's just a normal thing that we do. We send our agents to go out there because they know what the end buyer wants, what kind of products that they want. And that's what we want to fix the property up to. I said it's not a big thing. He's going to go out there. He's going to take a couple of pictures. It'll be a 10 or 15 minutes kind of thing. So the seller's like, no problem. 4 days before closing, the PPO went out there, came back, and it blew up. But now he lost this lender. Oh my God, he lost this lender. And guess what I did? I told my title company, go ahead and get the seller, come in there, sign the paperwork. But I said on the buyer end, we got some things that we need to figure out. But go ahead and get the seller in there to sign the paperwork if they are ready. My title company said, not a problem. We'll get the seller comes in, sign the paperwork. Oh my God. So you guys, at this time, what I want is I just want to get stuff off my plate. Okay, let's get the seller committed. Let's get the seller signed. Got all the paperwork done. Get the seller. The next thing we need to figure out is the buyer's part. So the buyer called me back and said, hey, Khang, I think I can still get this done. I have some other lenders that I can talk to. Maybe we'll be able to pull it off. I said, okay, man, dude, we are sending the seller to sign in. I told the seller that we're going to close on this, and I would hate it for us to kind of break our words. You really want to get this deal done. He said, I'll do my best. And anyways, so that lender fell apart. He went to another lender, and he said, hey, Khang, you know what? I think I got a lender that we have worked on some deals already. But I need an extension. I need this probably to be a week out from, I need an extra week. Okay, I need an extra week. So the closing was supposed to happen. We came in, we were supposed to sign. I have to text the seller and said, You know, we actually got some LLC documents that we haven't got everything done that the title company needed. So there's some missing document on our end. On your side, everything is all good to go. But on our end, we have some paperwork that are missing that we need to get done to the title company so we can close on this to make sure that everything is done properly. We don't want, you know, all of a sudden the house closed and then later on they'll pull you back to sign some more paperwork, etc. So she said, okay, not a problem. You know, how long you guys going to need? I said, you're probably going to need about a week or so just to get everything in place and things like that. And she said, not a problem. So we signed an extension for a week. Oh my God. So a week out, he brought his lender to come in and did a walkthrough on the property. His lender said, hey, this is a rural area. I don't think I'm going to lend on it. And this happened, you guys, like because of his schedule, like all this happened within like 2 or 3 days before closing. And they got to get funded. They got to get all the paperwork in. So it didn't happen. So his lender that he thought that was going to lend and close didn't end up pulling through. He said, call man, I'm going to keep on trying because he got $5,000 at stake. So he doesn't want to lose the $5,000. And he said, hey, Khang, what you guys do where we can close on it? And he said, hey, I'll put a promissory notes on one of the property that I'm flipping, right? So that makes you ensure that you guys get paid. So I need about, he said I need about probably need about 2 or 3 weeks out. And then once that property closes or sell or I refinance it, I can pay you guys the $10,000. And I was kind of thinking about it, and I asked him the question. I said, are you sure you can't get any other lender to move forward on this? I like to do it nice and clean. You know, I really don't want to go the other route. I got partners that needed to be paid out, and I really don't want to go do the whole promissory notes with you and all that. I just want it to be nice and clean, you know, just like on the other deal that we do. He said, Khang, thanks for working with me. I'm going to do my best. I think I got one more lender that might be able to pull this off. He said, I don't know why my other lender agreed already, said, hey, they're going to lend on it. And all of a sudden, they decide not to. He said, I'm going to give it one more shot, but I need another extra week. Oh, my gosh. Now I go back to the seller. The seller was like, oh, my God, what is going on here? And, you know, I really have to calm the seller down. And so I said, we still want, you know, we still wanted to move forward and get this done for you. There's just some paperwork we need to get in line. And all of a sudden, some of our partners that were supposed to come onto the deal now got a situation with their family and blah, blah, blah. And now things just kind of, now they're just not committed to this thing here. And so we need one of our properties to close. So we need the extra week or so to make sure our property closed so we can have the funds. So I'm trying to get some excuse here to make to the seller. But my thing is that if this doesn't close, I was going to give the seller like, well, however much the seller wants to. Basically, we end up not moving forward to this deal. That's what the $5,000 is for. All right. So let's just say if the buyer walks away off and can't close on this deal, I want to make sure that I can give the seller some money for all the time. All right. So whether the seller wants, hey, you know what, for all that time, give me $4,000 or $3,000, at least you have the money from the buyer to give to the seller, all right? So that way, you know, so that way you can still keep in good term with the seller somewhat, okay? So anyways, the seller so basically she's right now also committed and into this because she's already looking at a piece of property. They already committed to that property already, so she needs this closed. She doesn't want to start over again. I gave her the options. A lot of times you got to give people, a lot of times you got to back off. Sometimes you back off, people tend to like go forward, all right? So I told her, I said, Vicky, we can cancel this deal here. We can just cancel it. Or you give us another extra week, and I apologize. You know, I really appreciate, we really thank you for your patience. I really apologize. But we can either cancel and we can give you guys, and we can give you some money, right? So we'll forfeit some money, all right, for the time that we have spent or taken from you, or you give us another extra week, and we're going to try to do our best to get this wrap up for you, but we are still wanting to move forward with this property. So the seller agreed, and my buyer happened to end up finding a lender that would do it for him, that would also pay for the assignment fee as well. And that's why we're closing this on here today. But man, This one has been so long. But anyways, you guys, that is pretty much it. So I don't know if you guys have any questions, or if I left anything out, let me know. So let me see here. But we end up having to get it done. So anyways, so my whole thing is like, you know, I want to go get in and get things, just keep things rolling. I tell my title company, get the seller in, get them signed, and then we'll deal with the buyers. We'll deal with the buyers and try to get it done. And when I talked to the seller, I kind of felt her. I kind of felt her already that she really want to get this done. And that she knows that this is going to be a hard property to sell. She knows this is going to be a hard property to sell. All right, and it is a hard property to sell, you guys. How much land was on the manufactured home? I think it sits on almost 3 acres. Wait, you already got the $5K from the buyer at this point. So 1, 2, 3, the NJK 1, 2, 3. So basically, we tell the buyer at the time that they said they want to move forward. We tell the buyer you got to put down $5,000 non-refundable, but we don't. So basically, it goes into escrow. So the title company is the one that's going to hold the $5,000. We don't take the $5,000, but it goes into escrow. I have buyers say, "Hey, Khang, I'll write you a check," but I don't want to do anything outside of escrow. I want everything to be on paper. So we told them to go ahead and send in. And we typically do that to a buyer. They either drop off a cashier check. It has to be a cashier check. Tell your buyer, you guys, it has to be a cashier check, or they're going to wire in the money. Whichever two. Do not have them drop off a personal check, because it takes 7 days to clear a personal check, okay? It takes 7 days to clear a personal check, and they can cancel the check anytime. All right? And which means if they cancel the check, done. Right? So which means the title company cannot get you that money. So it has to be a cashier check. I learned that lesson. And if you want to close it in 5 days or 7 days, you can't, because they have to make sure the check is clear before they can close on it. So tell your buyer it has to be a cashier check, not a personal check. Any question? Let me read here. I thought you didn't wholesale manufactured home. Is this why you don't screw with them? Yes. So basically, manufactured home, like I said, when on the phone call, the seller said, "Hey, this is a stick built. This is a stick built home." People are converting to a stick built home. It's not a manufactured home anymore, and that's why we go ahead and we tie it up, and then we start to do, and you start to go into. So my title company does all the title research. You guys don't have to worry about like, oh, well, what if there's liens? What if there's debts? What if there's anything on the property? I don't know. It's okay. Once they pull the title report, everything shows. Was there permitted? Was there not? Everything is going to show. All right, everything is going to show on the title report. So don't worry about it. Let me see here. So manufactured home, when you guys deal with manufactured home, just make sure it's 1980 or newer. I would try to go with 1984 or 85 or newer. All right. But anything older, then I wouldn't even mess with it. It's just. And one more thing I want to tell you guys is stay focused. Focus. Right? It's like you know how when you take a magnifying glass and then when it's sunny outside and then you try to shine the lights, and then if you hold it far away, the lights just spread everywhere. But if you really zoom in, that's when the lights from the sun can burn a piece of paper or whatever it is. Laser focused, you guys. So that's why I don't get into commercial. I don't get into like multi-family, big units. I stick with single family home. Once you get the concept of that, and once you're good at it, then you can start getting into, you know, larger things, right? Most people just jump everywhere. Oh, they go here, they go here. Video froze. Can you readdress the manufactured home? The manufactured home. WM Baker, I'm not sure what you mean by readdressing the manufactured home. Manufactured home, deal with them 1980 or 1985 or newer, right? Don't mess with anything that's older, because basically, even if you fix it up nicely, it has to be a cash purchase. Bank don't finance on anything that's 1980 or older, from what I know. It could be 84, 85, all right? So just make sure. Any other question, you guys, before I head out? King Kong, you're a rock star. Mike L, thanks man. I mean, I remember the day 5 years ago. I was sitting at a RIA. I was sitting at a seminar, and I'm sitting here watching people on YouTube teaching and sharing their knowledge and things like that. And I said, God, please, if one day, if you let me make it, right? If you let me know how to do this business, I promise that I'm going to share my knowledge, my information back to those that first starting out and things like that where I was. And you guys don't know how grateful I am right now to be able to do this for you guys, and never ever thought in a million years that I have a YouTube channel and I have people following me, listen to me talk and things like that. So I've been so grateful and just thank God for for everything. So because I'm not a smart guy, I'm not an intelligent guy, but you know, it's the hard work, it's just the focus, the determination, the hard work. I'm telling you guys that you can too do it. Khang coming from Vietnam, knowing nothing about real estate, coming over here, living in a mud hut, came in over here, high school dropout, living in a little shack for 5 years, and now we're doing over $250,000 a month on wholesaling houses. So if I can do it, you can do it too. It just takes work, take persistent commitment, dedication, drive, focus. It takes everything inside of you to make this happen. And I do not believe in business you have to step on anybody's toes to make it to the top. You do not have to. So I just want to let you guys know that. Your old house looked like the hut home from yeah, so let me share with you guys. Oh man, I don't know if I have the picture. Let me go into a message. Okay, let me show you guys exactly how my living was when I was in Vietnam. I remember my sister has to walk miles and miles to get water to bring it home. We have this little well here. Man, I mean, I remember all those days. I used to hunt frogs, you guys. I used to hunt frogs for dinner. I used to wear little battery lights on my forehead, and I have 2 batteries on the side here, and I have a little spear, and I would go hunt frogs. No school. My family couldn't afford for me to go to school when I was in Vietnam, because it costs money in Vietnam to go to school. All right, it's not free like it is over here. Man, let me go back here. Let me show. Okay, that's the house. Now I'm in Vietnam, you guys. That's the house. And my mom just recently, because my wife didn't leave me. My wife grew up in Saigon, so she was brought up in a little bit more better environment. I guess that's the word. But man, I used to remember there's a big tree right next to the school, and I would climb on the top of that tree, and I would look down into the window, seeing all these kids sitting in school. They're learning, the teacher, they got friends, and me here sitting on top of the trees. Just that's all I was doing. And I was like, man, oh gosh, I wish I could go to school like all the other kids, but my family just didn't have the money for it. So, and when I came over here, you guys, man, when I came over here, I didn't have any summer. I came over here, no summer. Right out of school, I have to go pick strawberries, raspberry, blueberries, cucumber, beans. And I don't pick it for fun. I pick it for a living. I do not pick it for fun. I seen all the other kids that their parents sent them out, after school is done, they sent them out to berry picking because they just wanted them to stay out of trouble, to have something to do. No, it was not for me. It was not picking for fun for me. I remember delivering newspaper with my brother at 5 o'clock in the morning. It took us an hour to deliver all the paper. 6 o'clock, my dad would pack up all the food and we head out to the strawberry field. And after the season is over, I made some money. My mom would give me $50 to go spend on clothing. Guess where I went? Value Village and Goodwill. That's exactly where I go to get my school stuff. And you guys, and I did that berry picking all the way till I was 17. Never had any summer. Never know what a summer is. I hated school. I wanted school. I wanted summer to start, right? I want school to end, summer to start so I can get the 3 months off. And then I started hating summer. So I hated school and then hated summer because I have to go berry picking. But I would always choose to go pick berry over school. Hated school. The reason why I hated school so bad, I have no friends. And also too is I was so insecure, so shy that being in an environment like that, it just breaks me down. Every single day when I wake up to go to school, I remember there were days where I cried because I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to show up. I didn't want to face seeing other people. So anyways, you guys, I mean, it been a crazy journey. You know, it been an absolutely an amazing, crazy journey. You know, I'm not the same person I am today as I was. So you know, so for me, it's like when I met my wife, that's when things started to, you know, that's when I met my wife, things got even worse, right? I got even more insecure and things like that. But it was her that brought what's inside of me, you guys. I was a very talkative person. I was very outgoing, very talkative. But because I was so physically shy and so physically insecure that I pushed all of that down, right? That I pushed all of that down. And when I met my wife and when she pushes me, giving me that push, that's when basically I kind of unplay myself and become who I was or who I want or who I am. All right? Who I truly am. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the family, being a part of the channel. I'm so grateful for having you guys. Like I said, 5 years ago, I would never, ever in my whole life imagine that I would be making this kind of money, doing this business, and being able to sit here and share with you guys my experience, my journey. And so thank you so much for every single one of you guys. I truly, really appreciate it. And you guys, if you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Saturday, deal or no deal. So bring any deal you're working on and let me help you analyze, evaluate it, and hopefully to kind of clear it up for you. All right, you guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your Friday. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.